Hello and welcome to Olivia Rose Floral Designs. Today I will be showing you how to make a multi-purpose festive piece. So first of all, you can see here we have a nice table centerpiece with a pillar candle, and this can be used on your Christmas table during dinner, or you could simply have it on a sideboard. You could also use this piece for a door wreath, and this can be used on an internal and an external door, or simply hung above a fireplace, and is very beautiful and festive. Right then, let's get to it. Today I'll be using a 31 centimetre foam back ring, and some of my accessories that we're going to be adding to the door wreath are baubles. You will need some floristry wire to hang on your wreath, some general tools, some tape for wiring, because I will demonstrate how to wire the baubles. I also have some other accessories just to add for colour theme, along with some foliage, some beautiful white roses and some gorgeous fruit tree ivy. Okay, so we will begin. First of all, I always like to have my wreath with the join on the side, and this is purely because if you hang it with a wire on the door, I don't want to run the risk of separation. And again, if you add ribbon to the bottom of your wreath, you do not want to add the risk of separation there. With these foam rings, with Oasis foam, it's best to soak these in water before you start. So you do not push and force the foam into the water, because you'll create air bubbles within the foam, and this will cause the flowers to die. So what you simply do is flip the foam upside down and sit on top of the water and leave it for half hour to gradually soak by itself. Once this has happened, you then need to pop the foam on a draining board just to drain any excess water. The next thing I like to do with my wreath is, because it's quite a harsh edge, I like to use my knife and just take off the inner edges just to give it a smoother finish. So I'm just going to go all the way around there and continue until I meet where I began. I have taken a rather large chunk off there, but these things do happen. And again around the outer edge, and if you take too much off, please don't worry. And again up to where I finished. Okay, so what we're going to do now is start adding the foliage to the foam ring. So here I have some conifer and some different ferns, and I'm just going to add this around the edge of the wreath. It's normally best to have them pointing all within the same direction. Okay, so again, have some scissors handy and just cut them to the required size and pop them in like so. Now we have a covering of the fern, and I'm going to add some lovely tree ivy, which I actually grow myself. And I'm going to do some short pieces, and they are just going to fill in the gaps here. Okay, so as you can see, I've filled the majority of it in, and it's become rather nice and bushy, just how I like it. And what we do next is we get some conifer, which again I grow, or you can buy from a local garden centre. And what I do is I take a snippet with quite a strong stem and just remove the lower fern. And what I do is simply pop it in among my arrangement just to give it that extra Christmassy feel. And you can adjust the leaves accordingly to how you like your fern to be showing. Again, another snippet, and I will curl this one on the inside, just like so. So here's some I made earlier, and I'm just going to simply move around the wreath and pop them in where there's some gaps. And I think the fern just gives it a bit of a Christmassy feel. Okay, and again, just adjust the leaves like that. Remember, we are going to be adding our accessories as well, so we need to make sure we have room for those. And the good thing about this foliage is it will last a long time, as long as the wreath is kept wet, and you can do that by spraying it or just giving it a drizzle of water every now and then. Just make sure you fill to make sure you have that wetness. Okay, so I think that's enough for now. I think I'm just going to have one more down here. Okay, so as you can see, that just breaks up the tree ivy and the original fern that you popped in first of all. Okay, so now what I want to do is add my accessories. And again, you can use whichever colour theme suits. And I've gone for like an ice, white and a blue theme this year. So what you can simply do is, if you are hanging this on the door, you will need to attach with either wire or a ribbon. And you simply just loop around the wreath, tie it, but not too tight so it doesn't go through the actual foam. And then you can hang that accordingly. And then what I like to do is have 3 of my chosen decorations, and I don't pop them into the foam just yet. I like to have a little fiddle and see where I like them and where I like them to be placed before I start prodding the foam, because the more holes you make in the foam and the more you take things in and out, it will damage the foam and then all the foliage will become loose. I've gone for this leaf as well, which it was part of a garland, and I just took snippets off and wired them. And I'm just going to attach that just to give it a bit more of a glam feel. Okay, so again, I'm not popping anything in the foam at this point. I've also gone for some baubles, and I've wired these, which I will show you how to do in a moment. So I've gone for a cluster of 3. 2 sparkly ones and a large blue one. So I'm just going to pop these in between my chosen theme, just so I can get the feel of what they're going to look like. Okay, so how to wire a bauble is I remove the string first of all, and I get one of these wires, which you can buy at any floristry shop or Hobbycraft or any arts and crafts. I simply just loop that around where the string is attached, loop it down and twist. And you don't have to wire these, tape these wires, but I do just for security and just to disguise them. So all you do is pull the paraffin tape like so down the wire. I will actually be doing a video on how to wire flowers, baubles, etc. in one of my later videos. You simply then take a wire cutter and cut it to size. Okay, so now I roughly know where everything needs to go. Again, you will need wire cutters for this, or a very good strong pair of scissors. I simply cut the wire like so and just pop into my display. And I will do this all the way around my display. Okay. Again, please remove any labels that are attached or price tags to your accessories. So I'm just going to quickly go around and finish all of these. Again, just be very careful with the leaves. You may need to adjust them and move them around so everything can sit nicely and securely. And if you don't like where they are once it's actually in, because they are on wires, you can just move them around until you're happy with their position. Okay. So I'm just going to hang this up so you can see. Okay. So that's just a close-up of the accessories with the ivy. Now you can go a bit fancier if you wish, and you can add flowers to this arrangement, or you can leave it exactly as it is. If you are going to hang it on a door, you can add a ribbon, which I will add at the end to show, so when it hangs down the ribbon will just finish it off nicely. But you can add some flowers to this arrangement. So I have these beautiful cream roses which have bloomed nicely, and I'm simply just going to cut them to size, remove the outer petals. People quite often think these petals are dead petals, but they're not. They're the petals that protect the actual rose. So you can remove those and just, I'll make that a bit shorter actually, and just pop these into the arrangement. Okay, you need to pop these quite firmly. Around your arrangement. And again, if you're not happy with the position, you can remove them. The only downside to having fresh roses within your door wreath is that you may need to replace them or keep them watered on a regular basis. They should last from 10 days to 14 days, so approximately 2 weeks, if they're kept well and they're under shelter. Or you could go for an artificial equivalent, so you could have the fresh foliage and then an artificial equivalent for the rose. Okay, I'm not actually happy with this one. I'm going to take that one out. He's quite a big one, so I'm going to go for a smaller head at the top there. Okay, and I'm just going to place him there. And then I'm just going to have this one just pop nicely in here. Okay, so as you can see now, it just gives it a little bit more glamour. There's no set rule to where the roses can go, and you can pop these wherever suits you according to your accessories, your foliage, the store, or any other decorations that you have. Okay, and I'm also going to move him just to be there, just so it's a bit more symmetrical. Okay, so now I'm going to add my ribbon at the end, because I would like to hang this on my door. And again, you can go for any colour theme on these door wreaths. You can go for the traditional red and gold, you can have the pinks, the lilacs, or any colour that suits your theme. So if I move all this out the way, I will now show you what this looks like with the ribbon. Okay, so if you can see that. Okay, so we have our lovely wreath for the front door, or internal doors, or anywhere you would like to place them above a fireplace. They look absolutely gorgeous wherever they're placed throughout the Christmas season. But we can go a step further. If you do like this style, then what we can do is pop your wreath on a round plate or tray, and you can get a pillar candle and simply pop in the middle of your display, fluff up the leaves around it, or even add some additional ivy, and there you have it, a lovely table centerpiece, or a sideboard, or a kitchen surface, or anywhere you'd like to glam up and make festive. This would be absolutely ideal and looks amazing when it's lit. The only thing I would warn everyone against is do not have your foliage too high near the flame, and always make sure you buy a slow burning candle. Thank you again for watching my video, and please remember to hit that subscribe button, and you will not miss any of my up and coming videos, especially towards the festive season. Thank you ever so much, and see you all soon.